Okay, so I just want to reinforce a couple of things we've looked at already. One is setting a variable, one is using range, and the other is using a for loop. So let's just look at a simple way that we can do that. So press Control L, that clears the console, and we can begin again. So what I want to do, first of all, is set a variable. I'm just going to call my variable X, and as we've seen before, it does not matter what you call these variables because you can name them anything you like. It does make sense to give them names that you understand and anyone else looking through your code maybe would understand, or maybe at least comment them so somebody else or maybe you yourself further down the line come back to read it. You know what it is you're talking about. So I'm going to use range, and I'm going to pick a range of numbers, just between 3 and 10. So I've now got a variable that's going to store a number, a range of numbers between 3 and 10. All right, and now we're going to write a for loop. So you remember we did this before. We said for I, and I said it doesn't really matter what you use. So this time I'm going to change it to n for number. So for n in x, what's x? Well, x is a range of numbers between 3 and 10. What do we want to do? Well, we want to print those. So if you remember how for loops work, what this will do now is it will go off and it will look in that range and it will start to print everything from the first number in the range to the last number in the range. So when I press the go button and run this program, what we should end up with is a list of numbers. So let's try it and see if it works. Okay, so we start at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We don't get 10 because obviously, we started counting at 0. So it'll stop at 9. We've seen that, that it does that before. And that's pretty much how that works. So if you just need a simple way of running through a range of numbers, this is a really easy way you can do that. So hopefully now you're beginning to get the hang of how variables work, how using things like range works, how random works, how for loops work, and while loops, and all the things we've covered so far. So I think what we'll do moving forward is maybe have a look at a little program that generates a random password for people based on the number of characters entered, and that will kind of bring some of these things we've looked at together into a little project that will help to actually see them work in an actual real world program rather than just random snippets of code that kind of sit outside of a program and we don't really understand how they maybe connect together.